Yes, yes, yes. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. What's going on, good people? What is going on? Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. It's Wednesday, and it's Wind Down Wednesday. Hold
Yeah.
on. I kind of like changed it a little bit. I said wind down because
No, it's wine.
we gonna wind down with some wine. So grab your
There you
wine
go.
and let's get going. Let's get
That's
moving.
right. That's right.
But
What
y'all
up,
know who
ladies?
I am. Y'all know who I am. You know what time it is. My name is Sandy, and I'm sitting here with my sisters from another Mister.
What up? Y'all know who it is. Y'all know what time it is. It's Wind Down Wednesday. It's Chanice sitting here with you. What's good?
What's
Hey,
up?
hey, hey, this Netta in the house,
In the
literally. I'm back, y'all. I feel great.
You looking
Praise
great.
God.
You looking great,
Thank you,
sister.
praise you.
You looking great. I'm glad you're back. Thank God you're back. You had a rough 2 weeks there for a minute.
Woo.
Yeah, I did.
Welcome back,
COVID caught up
friend.
with me.
It did. All that, running around you be doing, looking like a diva when you step out here in these streets. You know what I'm saying? Like God was telling you, you need to slow down a little bit. You need to slow it down. You need to
He
backpedal a
slowed
little
Hit
me
the
bit.
down.
pause.
That's what he did. He
He hit the
slowed me
pause
down.
button on you.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
throw that pause button up on you. So hey, what's going
Hey,
on? Hey, what up,
AJ.
AJ? We miss you too. I had it's a we'll get into
Hey.
the reason why we missed last week. But anyway, how y'all doing? What's going on? How your week been so far?
Oh,
My week has been great. I have no complaints. I'm not sick anymore. I'm healthy. I'm good.
I know that's
Cool.
right.
What's up with your Chanice?
Nothing much. So, same stuff, different toilet, right?
Well, I
Babies, bills, work, you know what I mean? Living,
right, right.
breathing on this side. So, no complaints. Another chance, right?
I hear you. I hear you.
How about
Same
you?
here. Same here. No complaints. I've been busy though. I've been real busy. I'm doing something. I'm trying to revamp some things and do some do-overs and some redos and all that other stuff. Just processing a whole lot of stuff up here. But I'm busy. Physically, I'm busy. Back to work, keeping me busy, which I'm loving. Because I love them babies and they love me. So it's all good. Everything is good. Every time I turn around, it's like I saw you on TV. I saw you on TV. I saw you on TV. So it is what it is. Tis the season to go out and elect somebody. Please pick your favorite person that you would like to see in office. Our thing here is go vote. But my week has
Correct.
been great. The reason why we didn't do it last week, I had just jumped off an airplane and eyes was a little tired. So I had to take a little sneak peek of a break and then so I could be fresh coming back to you all this week. So we missed you all last week, but we're glad you're back with us this week. So let's get down to the nitty gritty of it all. Like we said, we want you all to get out and vote because that's next week. Don't play around, don't mess around. It's very important that you vote. We don't have to tell you that. You need to know that already. So please make sure you get out and vote. On that note, let's go ahead on and talk about it. Here's what people don't know and don't understand. Tuck Radio been doing this thing for I don't know 3, 4, 5 years almost. So this ain't nothing new for us. It's just that COVID got us in a different way now. I think virtually sometimes work better, but next year, stay tuned because I got something in store. We're gonna see how it works. We might try 2 days a week, no, 2 days a month until we make it, you know, till it flows. We're gonna see how it goes. But I can't tell you about it now. I have to tell you about it next year. But we're gonna put it's gonna be a work in progress. So anywho, here we go. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So much going on. But I ran this around by somebody, and y'all know, people say something to us, we bring it to you all. We just want you all to know what we're hearing and some experiences that we've gone through. So tonight's topic will be second chances. How do you feel about second chances? What y'all got?
Go ahead, Netta.
Well, I feel that second chances are warranted. I feel that it's only fair if and it depends on what relationship, it is. Like say it's just a friend. If it's a real friend that you care about and they wronged you, um, if they come back with an apology and y'all communicate about it, is best to give it a second chance. Now I don't know about that third, fourth, fifth, sixth chance, but yes, on a second chance for me.
And I would just say that second chances are I guess earned. I feel like they're situational. It just depends on the situation and what it is.
Second chance is a slippery slope. My take on it. Now everybody is different, and I think both of you all said pretty much the same thing. It just depends on who it is and why you're giving that individual a second chance. Because I do feel like all of us have given somebody a second chance at some point in time. And every second chance is totally different. Case in point, if somebody borrows money from you, and it might be a significant amount of money, and it may not be a significant amount of money, they don't pay you back. And then they want some more money from you. How many times are you going to allow them to get money from you when they hadn't paid you back from the first time? Are you going to give them a second chance if they come to you and say, listen, my light's about to be turned off. I know I owe you money. I know it. I know I owe you some money, but I need this because me and my kids, if I don't pay this bill, my light's going to be turned off. Now they already owe you $500. Are you going to give them an opportunity? Are you going to give them that chance of paying you back that $500 plus the money you about to let them borrow again for the light bill? That's just a scenario. Now I know we have all sat here and let somebody borrow money from us and hadn't paid us back. But how many times have you allowed that person to get money or take money from you and they don't pay you back? Have you done that? Have you given them a second chance? What's up, my brother Phil?
Hey, Phil. Thanks for tuning in. So silly.
H to the now. He ain't doing it. Ain't no second. So Phil, let me ask you this. So you're saying no second chances when it comes to money? You're not letting them borrow no more money from you? Or how do you feel personally about giving someone a second chance if it's not pertaining to money? So what y'all feel about if you already let somebody borrow money, will you let them do it again?
Not with this specific situation, this specific example you gave, no. And the same line that they're trying to run with, hey, my light's gonna get cut off. I keep helping you, my light's gonna be cut off. You know what I'm saying? So there's just gotta be some boundaries. Hey, AJ, thanks for tuning in.
So how you feel, Netta, about that type of scenario?
So I have a really, really big heart, and people used to take advantage of it, because my heart is big to people that I care for. So I have been in situations to where I loan money. A lot of people look at me like I'm the bank, and I'm not.
Trust
But
me.
I have been in those situations years ago. I've grown out of that to whereas now it has made me catch an attitude with the person, and they know not to come back. Now they will come back with an apology for not paying what they already owed, but to come back and say, I know I owe you, but I need this, is a no for me.
And like Phil said, you never loan anything out that you can't afford to lose. And especially, and that's true, especially if it's money. You never loan, and we all have limits. I have let individuals borrow money. Phil also says loaning money can break up friendship.
Yes, it can. It can break up more than that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Family ships, friendships, sisterships, all of those ships, it can definitely break it up. I have been in a situation too. What's going on, sister girlfriend? All should
Hey,
pay
thanks for coming in.
what they owe. Yes,
Hello.
thanks for tuning in. And they should. If you cannot, if you got enough balls and handful of hair to borrow the money, then you should have a handful enough to pay it back.
Right.
That's the way I see it. I'm like you, Netta. There are people that I know. They and this is what I don't like. Don't be in my pockets because you don't know what I got.
Absolutely.
A lot of times people know what you do and how you do things, and the first thing they say, "Oh, you got it."
Well,
Oh,
they
no,
think,
you got money.
they assume they know, they think they
Right.
know.
But you don't know what I got. You don't know how much I can give and all that. But we've all been in a situation where we have given money and ain't got a dime of it back. So guess what? You live to learn and you learn to live. And I'm not giving you my money. And I know who I'm not giving my money to even try to see if I can get that money back. So when it
Right.
comes to money, a second chance, no, because I ain't gonna give you the first chance if I can help it.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's a slippery slope, and it gets ugly when money is involved. It always gets ugly when when it comes to family members or friends or whoever borrowing money. And so that that's why there's entities out there that you can borrow from, because they put certain stipulations that you can't just navigate around when it comes to borrowing money.
Right.
So I always try to I'll refer you back to that, because I've had bad experiences. We all have, with someone, you being compassionate and, giving that money and not getting it back. And so I'm quick to say, hey, I can try to line up as many resources and get them to you, and you could pick from those. I'll offer you something. It might not be this $500 you asking me for, but I'll replace that with other resources where, what I'm saying, you have to do some of the footwork too, because I think a lot of times a lot of people aren't really accountable, you know what I mean? And so just monetarily, but just period. So I'd rather refer you, I'd
Right,
rather give
Phil.
you resources in that place. And Phil said, or you only hear from family members when they need something. Exactly.
And right.
And that's annoying too.
Yep. And those are the family members that's always needing a second chance. Somehow, some way, shape, form, or fashion, they need that second chance. And it's not always monetary with family members when they need a second chance. It's so crazy how second chances work. And it's beyond finances. It's relationships, friendships with individuals. And we all have had friendships that we will not, absolutely positively will not give somebody a second chance. But have you been in a situation with anybody and you have not, absolutely not given them a second chance to be back in your life the way they were, or back in your life, period? Now, we have talked about the money. Money is a slippery slope, but second chances are too, and they all work differently. So is there anything or anybody, something that has happened, or even a family member, that they have burned a bridge with you and they ain't having a second chance for nothing in the world? Now, with that being said, when I got my divorce, I hated my ex, couldn't stand the grounds he walked on, none of that. So having a second chance with him was just out of my vocabulary, out of my mindset. It was just a done deal. It wasn't, none of that was going to happen. But then I had to revamp. I had to redo something totally different. So I had to take the hatred out of my heart, mind, body, and soul in order for me to become the person that I am today. So I gave him a second chance. The second chance was for him to prove me wrong and to make sure that he wasn't the person that he used to be when we were married. So I gave him a second chance. Now, that second chance that I gave him, because of the place that I was in mentally and physically, for me, did me justice. I took that. I won't ever do that again to doing again. But now you had your second chance. It didn't work. I'm good with it. So You know, you go on, you move on, and you do whatever. Now, third, fourth, fifth, 10 chances, like Netta says, after the second chance, I think I'm good.
Right.
I'm good.
You know, that's a tough one. And the reason why I say that is because, especially with family, and you know, you want to be fair because you want people to be fair to you. You know, things happen. A lot of times stuff is miscommunicated. And so as far as like with family members, there are some family members that I feel like it's categories for second chances, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So okay, a family member, you know, could have wronged me or whatever. And they're gonna always be family. So they'll always be around, you know. It's not like you can cut them off, but they're gonna always be your family. So it's like in some capacity or another, you guys are probably, you know what I'm saying, walking the same circle, whether it's at a during Thanksgiving time or Christmas time, a holiday or whatever. And so I just think it's specific, it's certain boundaries. Like I can give you a second chance, but it won't be to the degree of the beginning, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still gonna hold myself because in the back of my mind, yeah, I've forgiven you and I'm gonna love you where you are. But now, you know what I'm saying, my thought process is totally different when I deal with you.
Right. But I'm with you. But then there are some people it ain't work. I ain't gonna do it. I'm just not gonna do it. I ain't gonna give you no second chance to try to even come and redeem yourself. I'm not gonna do it. There are some that I just will not do it because if you showed your double hockey sticks and you showed them to a T, I'm not gonna give you no second chance. It's not gonna happen. I'm just not gonna do it because you're not gonna take me down that road again, only for me to say, "Oh, I knew I shouldn't have done this," you know. But I mean, I'm not. Some people I'm just not gonna do it with. I'm sorry, it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, I got them too.
Yep.
Yes.
There's levels. There are levels with everything and everyone, and we have to deal with it accordingly, and everybody deals with it differently. But if somebody that came in and just absolutely positively meant to do it, and then they want to come back and say, "Oh, I'm sorry. Will you forgive me?" Will you give them that second chance? Knowing that
here's what, because I had a friendship that was similar to what you're talking about, and here's the difference for me though. You know, if I'm bringing something to your attention because I feel like it should be like an unwritten rule, you know what I mean? And then you like deny, like, oh, I don't believe in that, or I don't think, or da da da. Like, I'm good, I'm cool, because your man said, like, for example, I'll say, say I dated a cousin, right, or a brother, and we broke up, and so then my first cousin, goes and dates the same person, and it's like, wait a minute, hold on. To me, like, you don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, you don't. It's so many other people out here. Like, why would you date or be with somebody that we really close? I just feel like that's betrayal. That's just an example out of gazillion examples that I'm like, that should be like an unwritten rule.
So your cousin, I know you're using that as a scenario. So your cousin dated somebody that you used to date, and they want a second chance at being close like you all used to be, and you said,
right, because they feel like that's not a big deal. Like,
so my question is, okay, with that scenario, how many years ago was it when you dated that person? And, you know, did y'all discuss it? Did they say anything to you? Because sometimes I think communication is key to almost anything. Communication is definitely key when you're trying to give somebody a second chance. Because I'm going to tell you, I cut a lot of people off that was very close to me when I was going through my divorce. I cut a lot of them off. And those friendships I have not regained many of them. One in particular that I cut off. And she and I talk about it. She'll tell you all day long. I cut her off because I thought she was a part of the shenanigans that was going on. I mean, and when I say cut her off, I cut her completely, totally off. She wasn't involved with with none that Courtney did. No graduations, no birthday parties, no nothing, no basketball games, zero. Because when I cut you, like my brother say, when I don't F with you, tell them, Phil, I don't F with you. Because you got one time to really do me wrong. And I felt like she did me wrong. So did you not talk to your cousin? Did y'all not sit down and have that conversation? Did you talk about it after the fact? And if you didn't, would you have? I know that's a scenario.
Right. No. So it was fresh. It wasn't like a year or 3 years, 5 years, and then, oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know you dated my cousin. It wasn't that situation. It was like you knew what it was, and whatever, y'all ain't together no more. So it's what it is. Like, I just felt like that's kind of shady to me.
Yeah, I agree. I would feed them out of a long handle spoon, because at the end of the day, a second chance with a cousin that whom I thought was my brother or sister, well, particularly sister, because she dating a guy that I used to date. A second chance with somebody that I thought was my sister, because that's how we roll.
Yep.
I think a conversation needs to be had, or should have been had. But then, at the end of the day, then I know.
Oh yeah, definitely a conversation was had, but now, like, I can't, you know what I'm saying? I still, you cool, and I'm cool, we cordial, but we not on that level, like,
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, AJ, girl code.
That's a girl.
She didn't see how it was a problem though, and that's where it was a problem for me. Like, you don't see how, like, put the shoe on the other foot. Like, if that was me, which I would never do that anyway, because like I said, I feel like it's unreal rude. But everybody ain't gonna be me, and so that's fine. But I see where you are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, second chances ain't no joke. I'm telling you, it is a very, very slippery slope, and it's like, another scenario. How do I look, or you all look, if you don't like somebody? You done fell out with somebody, and we all was real cool in the circle together. We was all cool. And I done cut them off. I ain't got nothing to do with them. I don't care. So would you, now we good. We like this. We ace-bow coons. We tighter than a road dog. And then you have a falling out with somebody. Would you continue to give them a chance, or to be the person? Now you know what they did, and you know how they did it. Would you continue to be their friend and allow them to have that same opportunity with you, and you saw them light the fire, the reason why we are no longer friends? Would you continue to maintain a friendship with them and give them the chance to possibly do the same thing to you that they did to me? Well, how would you go about that? Because I'm telling you, when my friends cut you, I cut you too. Ain't no second chance with me. That's just how I roll. What, Netta? What? I'm true to mine.
Actually, about it. Go ahead, Netta.
Man said he talked about this. Yeah, said you told me exactly what you're saying now. I'm a little bit different. If I know, so you saying, like, if me and you girls, and it's another girl a part of us, and she cut you deep, will I go ahead and do away with the friendship as well?
Keep rolling with her. Knowing what she did.
I wouldn't necessarily
knowing what she did.
I think I will have a conversation with her and make her understand my position in the whole scenario, or the whole situation. But I probably would, for the sake of your feelings, pull back from her. I don't know if I'll cut her off, but I definitely pull back. And so I let her, if you want to consider that as cut off, that's cool. I don't have no problem with it. I guess it just depends on the person and the relationship that I really do have with her. Because, a lot of girls I really don't have big relationships with. It's just a few of us that I really consider as like my sister, or my friend. So it just depends on where that level at with that person for me.
And then, I understand too, like, a lot of times, that's hilarious. She said, you cut off, baby, you cut off.
Yes,
I
babe.
feel like too, you have to respect
No,
that
I did
person.
not.
So if they were a part of the group and they aren't no longer, I feel like you have to respect whatever situation that went down between those two people. Like why would I, like if I had a party and I knew one of the girl, the new person or whoever wasn't getting on, I wouldn't invite them to the party when I knew that they weren't, you know what I'm saying? They're not friends no more. And they're not on the same page. Like stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like no, definitely no, I think you would have to. I think it would have to. The situation would have to be handled, according to whatever it is that they've done. You know, but to say you cut them off, Sandy, and then I have a party, and then they there, and I know you don't fool with them, like that's shady.
Yeah.
It is. My thing is too, it's like, okay, so that's to me. Now, I'm not giving them a second chance. And to me, I might look at it as you're trying to give us or them the opportunity to become friends again or whatever. That's the way I see it. I'm not, you want me to give that person a second chance because you keep inviting them around. You keep offering them the opportunity to come back. So you're trying to get me to give them that second chance.
And I don't like that because that's not that person's job. That's not your job to do. That situation is between them two people. You don't get. I mean, you may know about it because you know what I'm saying, you and her tight, but that's, you don't play, I'm gonna get y'all back together. Like that's not, when people do that, it goes astray. You should never do that.
Because how many people have you known, like if you done fell out with somebody or something happened or a relationship or whatever the case may be, and they have come back to you and they say, hey, because they cool with both of y'all. I think you should give them another chance. I think you should give them the opportunity to, prove themselves or, try to work it out and see what happens. Do you think that should happen? Do you think? Because I'm going to tell you, I did not, for the life of me, I'm telling y'all, I was adamant on ever, never, ever, ever giving this man another chance to step foot back in my life. Not ever. But then because sometimes we have to go through a change within ourselves in
A
order
growth
You have to
period,
heal.
for sure.
to be better, to
Right.
be more mature. And if
For
it
our own,
work,
for
and if
our
it's
own
gonna
healing,
go,
not for the other person.
right.
I totally get that.
And we do it for ourselves. So that's what I did. I did it for myself, to be the person that I am today, because it made me a better person. It made me a bigger person. It made me smile a little bit more because, now I know I can do it if I needed to do it again. But then there are some, it's just like, I'm so sorry.
You messed up. We're done.
I mean,
That is it.
yeah, it just ain't gonna work.
It has to be Jesus himself to come to me in a dream, but like, listen.
Yeah. I mean, and then sometimes if I see him, I'm cordial, I'm cool, but but to let you back in to my circle like that again, it would be very, very. We have to have a more than one conversation, which is what I did with my other friend when we fell out. She and I had like 2 or 3 conversations, and every time we had a conversation, we would go and sit down and eat and talk about what happened, and then I would get mad and say, "No, I'm not going to do this again." Then we'll have another conversation. So it got to the point where let's see what happens and let's see how it goes and let's see how it works. That was that part of me that I had to open up again and become the better person I am. So she and I are real cool with each other, believe it or not. We are like real cool, and she is Team Sandy all the way. So there are times where you just got to revamp and do some things, but I always ask God to forgive me on a daily basis too. So I'm not perfect. But
For sure, for sure. And I yeah, you're right about that. I know I do. Because sometimes we can be so hard on a person. It's like, dang, God's trying to use the situation, but like I said, depending on what it is, you just be like, ooh, okay, Jesus, help me with this one, because I feel like a cutoff is in need, and I'm tired. I'm not dealing with it anymore. But yeah, I mean, I believe that we all deserve a second chance. And so with knowing that, we have to be able to give second chances too, depending on situations.
So I got a story.
Yeah.
And this is a true story. So my mother had 5 kids, right? And me and my twin was raised on my dad's side of the family. So anyway, her second daughter had started a rumor about me. I never knew about the rumor until the person that she accused me, started the rumor about, called me one day. He was my brother. He was our brother. Um, well, he called me one day with the issue, basically. And he was talking and talking and talking, and it slid past, like, you can continue messing with my sister, use another word. So I got stuck right there with the conversation. So when he got finished with the conversation, I went back like, what sister is she talking about? And he said me. So obviously it hurt my feelings because I was helping her and just gave her the money. As soon as you left my face, he calls me. And so for many years, I wouldn't mess with her. I cut her off. But my problem with my cutoff is, well, not necessarily my problem, but it affected our mother, right? So my mother had cancer. Eventually she passed from it. But before she passed, she wanted all her children to get together and take a family picture. But this daughter of hers had an attitude with me because I caught an attitude about the situation, right? And so she wouldn't let up. She wouldn't let up. Now I'm the baby. I'm the baby daughter. My twin is the baby brother. And so for me, I'm like, I'm the baby. You're the older, so you should have came to me and at least had a conversation. I wasn't gonna do nothing else. If you can't come apologize, have a conversation, so I can explain to you how I felt about what you did, said, or whatever. Um, I'm cool. But I was willing to go ahead and do whatever it took for my mother, right? But she wasn't. So she eventually passed away herself. So she's no longer living as well. And so for a funeral, I had always told myself if anything ever happened to her, I wouldn't go to her funeral. Well, she had a funeral. So I went, but I only went because my twin talked me into going, not because I wanted to rekindle something or forgive or this. Well, hold on, back up. I did forgive her because I'm God fearing, but I didn't forgive her to her. Do that make any sense?
Yeah.
And so I just really, because we talking about forgiveness and second chances or whatever, I really wasn't willing to give her a second chance if she didn't come at me like I felt I needed to be, came at
Right.
as
Right.
her little sister, like, and so, yeah, I didn't give her the second chance because I just felt like she owed me, because you put a rumor out on me, whether you
Right.
thought it was true or not. You should have came. I'm your sister, like we blood. We came out the
Right.
same womb. And actually our birthday was on the same day.
Oh
My
wow.
mother had us on her birthday. And
Wow.
so we had so many things in common. It's like,
Right.
without
Why
being
not?
and being on top of being sisters.
Right.
So yeah, um, I'm a second chance giver. Don't get me wrong, because I just feel like everybody isn't perfect. No one is perfect. And so, everybody's going to do something wrong. I feel like issues make healthy relationships, depending on what the issue is and how y'all maneuver through that issue. It makes healthy relationships. I don't feel like it's a good relationship if we always capable of laughing with each other, but we
Right.
Yeah.
Um, and I totally agree, because
Yeah.
my thing is, if we can laugh and have a good time, why can't we not
Work.
laugh, be angry, upset, and mad, and still try to work it out and give that person a second chance? Because even when you married and you're in a relationship, you're consistently giving somebody a second chance, because things are always happening and taking place. Now, you can't tell me, if you are married and your mate does something and it makes you mad and upset, that you ain't gonna give them a second chance to rectify it or to explain themselves or to fix it. That's what it's all about. Because we know God says we all deserving of a second chance because he gave us a second chance.
That's for sure.
How about you try to give a second chance and they
And they
don't
don't.
want it?
Wow.
Ooh,
That's deep, AJ.
yeah. Now that one right there is
Now,
crucial.
you know what? So for that, AJ, I can say it's on them. Because if you've done your part, I can't do someone else's part. If I'm
Right,
giving the person a second chance and they don't want it, that's not on me.
right. If I go to you or you come to me asking for a second chance and I don't do it, or I refuse to do it, then guess what? You were woman enough, just like Netta just said. They came together, at least at some point in time, they got together. Her sister came to her, being the big sister, and they at least had that conversation. I could see if you did not have a conversation.
Oh no,
No,
Sam,
she
we did
never
not.
did. She didn't want to.
Shut your mouth.
No,
That's what she's
we did not.
saying. Yeah, that's what AJ is saying.
And AJ just said the second, oh my Lord Jesus. But well, if you go to them or they come to you and either one of them is not willing to break or bend, then guess what?
It's not on you.
Whoever it was tried. I mean, they tried it. And that's all you can do is just go to them, ask for that second chance, try to redeem yourself, explain what happened, because that's what I did with my friend, and that's what I did with my ex. So we tried it. It didn't work with he and I on that second try, and that's fine. No bad blood at all. But with my friend, my girlfriend, we did it. We are back being best friends, but we sat down and we talked about it and we explained it, and we're good. Broke the girl code. The person involved has moved on a few times. Well, how many times you gonna give them?
Yeah, the situation, the scenario that I brought up earlier was real, and that person did apologize, and I forgive you. Like, it is what it is. But it'll never be on that level again. If I see you in the store, I'm gonna say, hey, how you doing? I ain't go, what I'm saying, brush by, be rude or nothing. But that's it. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool.
And I guess what I want to ask you, Netta, had your sister not passed away so suddenly or whenever, would you have considered, or had you even thought about it even before she passed away? Had you even thought about giving her a second chance to redeem herself or come to you? And if so, did she know it then that you were willing to do that?
Well, actually, it's like what Shanice was saying, how people was trying to play in the family was trying to play the peacemaker. So they try to do a gathering and have both of us there. And I kept telling them that wouldn't end well. So she did, let me be honest, she did call me one day. It was on our birthday. And she was saying how, basically my mother had her call, and she was saying how, somebody had to be the bigger person. And so for me, that made me mad. And so she really wanted to sweep the situation up under the rug. So you really wasn't calling me to clear the
address
air.
it.
You just was trying to call me to now, I guess, start a whole different type of relationship. I don't know. So for me, it was important for her to understand how, as a big sister, you have made your little sister feel. And so she wasn't willing to have that conversation. And so for me, we don't have nothing to talk about.
So she came to appease your mother.
Correct.
So you're saying, so it wasn't real. It wasn't authentic. She was coming because that's the request that your mother wanted.
I'm saying she was coming because of the request for our mother, but she wasn't willing to have the conversation.
And she wasn't admitting her role in the situation. And that's where I was. Absolutely. with the other person. Like, okay, this happened, but I mean, come on, you got to give me something. You know what I mean? Right. And it's like when they don't, and you got to have that much friction, I'm hands off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm okay. No disrespect. Don't mean nothing. Don't want nothing to happen to you, but we just not there.
So they didn't want to have the conversation.
The sad part about the whole situation is the family really wanted me to just forget about it and just throw how she made me feel away for her. And I didn't understand that. You hurt me. I didn't hurt you. Whether you think you right or wrong or whatever you think you are, you still caused me pain that you don't really realize that you caused me, because you won't give me the opportunity to make you understand that. Right. And so for me, I'm not coming at you because I didn't start no rumor on you. You know what I'm saying? You started one on me. No matter how you feel, you are, whether you feel you right, whether you feel you wrong.
So do you think that they were saying they glad it happened? She's glad it did, that she said and did what she did, because at the end of the day, she don't care. I mean,
and so many words in your actions. That's how I felt. With my
I never looked
situation.
at it like that. I feel like she felt, because of my attitude and how I handled things, that she felt that she was right. So when you feel you're right about something, then you don't care. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah.
But
But
if she would have came
that's
to me, I could have
that's
gave her.
bad.
Well, y'all, hold on. I'm leaving this stuff out. When I heard about it, when he called me and told me about the situation, I called her. She wouldn't answer her phone. So I did. I wrote her a letter. It wasn't a nice letter. It really wasn't. And at that point in the letter, I told her, "You gets no more for me. You gets no more. If you come to me, I'm probably gonna beat you up." And so, but right then and there, I was angry. I was hurt, and I became angry because, mind you, she just left after I gave her some money, and then as soon as you left, you tell him that he messing with me. I mean, it went deep, y'all. It went really, really deep. My feelings got hurt more than once in that situation. So, and
It
by
kind of
her,
cut you to the core. Yeah. It
yeah,
cut you to the core when
to
you
the core
know
core.
it didn't happen. That's not the way it went down. And
Correct,
then for her to spread that rumor, especially all over to family, and
correct.
everybody looking at you sideways because they're thinking that, well, shoot, it may be true, or it is true, because you and whoever it was tight and close, and y'all, everybody always seeing you together. So people think that, and they gon' it's crazy, but they think that. What's up,
And
Tasha?
and,
All
and
right.
another
Hey,
what I
thanks for
think
tuning in.
another problem with that though, Sandy, is he was close with all the family, not just me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like in my head, like, why me? Why did you choose me out of everybody?
Right,
Your kids, they kids, other sisters and brothers, everybody. He was our brother. He was their uncle, dad, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And so I couldn't wrap my head around
right,
why me.
right.
So,
And Tasha, you right. And thanks for tuning.
Yes.
People do struggle with accountability, and a lot of times they don't want to take accountability, which will allow them not to get that second chance with,
Exactly.
because they
Exactly.
don't want to be accountable for the stuff that they did or have said. So when you don't want to be accountable, so at the end of the day, when you're not accountable, then that you ain't gonna be able to have that second chance.
No, because
right.
it's a big deal for that person to come to you, to try to set up a way to have a conversation, whether it's over the phone, text message, lunch, dinner, whatever. It's a big deal to say, hey, let's try to squash this. And then you like, oh no, I'm too busy, or you can't answer, or this, or you know what I mean? It's all these excuses, which goes back to non-accountability. Like
Right,
they used to functioning through life like that.
right. And it's just like, and I give y'all the scenarios about my real life stuff that happened with me personally. My thing is, my dad never uh, owned up to him leaving me. So growing up, trying to understand the reason why he left when I was 2 or 3, at the age of 57, is still difficult, because he's never took accountability for leaving me. And he's never said, I apologize, I'm sorry, and this, that, and the other happened. So when I went to Chicago the other week, my cousin, and I still talk to him all the time, and he was like, you talk to your dad, you talk to your dad. And I'm like, no. I mean,
Right.
because I'm not saying that I won't talk to him, and not saying that I haven't talked to him since I first met him at the age of 24 until now, because I have. But the question is, what accountability is he going to take in order for me to give? I mean, it ain't never too late, but he is in his 80s, to give him a second chance. You can't, at this point in time in my life, he can't have a second chance of being my dad, because he done missed out on that boat. That boat done sailed. So for him to have a second chance to be a part of my life, that's a possibility. But you got to be accountable. He
Right.
doesn't take
Right.
any accountability on anything. So therefore, it's kind of hard for me to give him
A
that
second
chance.
chance.
Yeah,
Yeah. And it hurts being vulnerable in that place. Like, um, it's very painful because you just like, why come we can't just hash this out? Why can't we can't just have this conversation? Why come you can't respect like my feelings? You know what I mean? Like, why come I can't at least verbalize and get that out? You know what I mean? What I was thinking, why this, why that, and allow you that same thing, and then we try to come to some type of compromise because you know you ain't gonna always agree with everything somebody say, but they ain't gonna always
Right.
agree with what you say. But agree to disagree. Hear me out. I hear you out, and we try to find some type of common ground. But most people they don't even want to do that.
Right. And I look at second chances too. And like I said, I always try to use my life, some of my experiences to try to give anybody a chance. The first chance of becoming a part of my circle of my life is extremely difficult. And I feel it's difficult because of my dad, if that makes sense. To give somebody a chance or an opportunity, because to think they are going to do the same thing that he did is like you get what you want or you get what you need, and then at the end of the day, I'm walking out, and you don't want to be accountable for nothing. It has kept me from having so many people in my life, because at the end of the day, I got a real tight circle. When I say no new friends, I truly mean no new friends.
And you know, a lot of people they don't get that. You know, what you just said was powerful. Is that
Because I don't share that with a lot of people. This is
yeah,
probably the first time that I've really said that, and people around the world, whomever's watching and listening, knows now. If you ain't in my life, I mean, really, like really in my life, there's a reason. Because at the end of
right.
the day, I don't need you getting close to me, my family, my friends, my daughter, only for you to do them little steps. And I'm not doing that because my dad did that. And it's a struggle for me to give a person the first chance, let alone the second chance. So
And
if I
yeah,
give you that first chance, I just pray that you just don't destroy it. Because at the end of the day, I'm good on you. And I may be good on you and you don't even know it. Because I'm
and
good.
it's relatable. It's definitely facts that your upbringing and things that you have been through and your experiences do because your viewpoint has been changed now. You know, and so the second chance that piece is challenging. And then Tasha said, an actor said it best. Some people can't handle the truth. Accountability equals accepting truths.
All day, every day. So
Facts.
we got to accept it. And I mean, and I ain't perfect. And by far am I perfect. That's why I got friends that have put me in my place and let me know I'm wrong. And I would say, okay, you're right. I have taken accountability for my wrong and me being wrong, but that came with growth. Used to be a time I tell you in a heartbeat, now I ain't wrong. But that come over the years and going through things, the experiences has allowed me to be accountable for my wrong. But I tell you, I'll be the first one to tell you I'm wrong. You're right. If you point it out and I see it, you are absolutely right. But that all comes with maturity and growth. At the end of the day, Tasha said, I can identify with that and understand where you're coming from, Sandy. I struggle with abandonment from my parents. And see,
Yeah.
that's the thing. My mother was always there for all of us. She was there. She was the anchor, my grandma too, and my grandpa. They were there, So for me to give a person an opportunity to be a part of my life and then you let me down, it's kind of like, oh, it's so difficult
Yeah.
to give
It's
you that
tough.
second chance, which is why it took me so long to give my ex a second chance, just to be a part, just to, to step back in when he did. But once again, I have no bad feelings. I have no hard feelings. I mean, I'm good. Gone, you gone, I'm gone. I'm good. She good. Our daughter's 29, and there's no need for us to have a conversation because what you talking to me about? Nothing. So
Right.
I'm okay. And thank you, Tasha. I try to be genuine, but some people can't take the
You
realness
can't
off.
handle the truth.
Yeah. So that's where I am. So it's a struggle, and it is a struggle, So if I tell you something that's real personal within me, my expectations are for you not to do what Netta's sister did to her. Go out here and make up some dang on lame false statements that ain't true And then you looking at me like I'm full crazy when it ain't me and it's you.
It's
I,
painful. That's
yeah,
painful.
that's why I keep people at a arm's length. You don't come up in this circle. Period. No new friends, and I mean that. My daughter and my brother Phil already said, no new friends. I'm
Well, I'm
like,
glad
And
I
they
made the
Drake
cut.
and they best Drake voice.
yes, and the best Drake. Thicker layer of skin, Sandy. And again, I can be that way also. I know, Tasha, we all can, but my whole thing is some people can't. Some people don't have that thickness. They let that stuff get to them and it tears them down to the core. Because at the end of the day, you got to be who you are. And I thank God that I have grown tremendously because I wasn't the person that I am right now 5 years ago.
I hear you.
You know,
Same here.
I am a better person, and thank God.
Yes, and depending on the situation, you got to earn a second chance.
Yeah.
Depending on the situation.
Now, and then if I'm like AJ said though, if I'm coming to you, if I come to you and request it, and you still say no, then I did my part.
That's it.
I feel like I did my part. If I come to you asking and requesting, hey, can we, then I did my part. If you say no, then I'm good. God told me what I need to do, and I did what he wanted me to do, to allow you that second chance. Then at the end of the day, if you still say no, then that ain't on me. Because
not at all.
I did what God. Because in other words, if I'm asking you for a second chance, then I done forgave you. That's the way I see it too. If I'm asking you for a second chance, then I done forgave for what you did or said. Either way. And if you don't want to do it and you still say no, then I'm still gonna feel good because I did my part. Ownership, baby. Ownership.
That's it. You're only responsible for self.
You can't do nothing else. What up, though, Tosh? How are you? What's going on, Sister Beverly?
Hey now.
Sister Beverly.
We got some late tuner ins. Okay.
Yeah, because my thing is you can't do anything else. When you ask somebody for a second chance, then you are asking them to forgive you for whatever was wrong. Right. And you can pinpoint that wrong out. You can identify that wrong and take accountability for that wrong. But if they still say no and they don't feel like they're worthy or you're worthy of it, then ain't no need in you feeling bad about asking for that second chance because you did your part.
Right.
And you're being bigger. You're being the bigger person anyway when you go to them and ask and you had that conversation with them. I feel like this is me. I feel like you're being a bigger person if you're asking them for a second chance. That's the way I see it.
Right. Yeah.
Good, girl. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. Give your people, that's on you all, how you want to give a person a second chance. My thing is, Netta, my heart feels for you because I'm very, my family, we are close. We may not talk every single day. I love all my siblings and I pray for every last one of them. My thing is, my heart does feel for you because y'all didn't have that opportunity to mend that fence, put it back together, and be the siblings that your mom wanted before your mom and your sister passed. So I get it. And I understand because you and I talked about it, but my heart does, it aches a little bit for that because that's hard, because you want that relationship with family. You want that relationship with your siblings. My sister can't stand my daddy at the end of the day because he abandoned both of us. But at the end of the day, you can't let that destroy your mindset. It's
right. Right. You can't allow that to make you who you are. Yeah.
And I was not the one to break the girl code, but I'm good. I hear you, AJ.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. And we have to continue to pray for each other, and
thank you.
And pray for Netta because I'm telling y'all, that's
deep. It's painful.
It is. That's hard because you don't know I mean, even at this point in time, we still don't know what you're going through, Netta, but it's got to be hard. And I ain't trying to get all emotional and sentimental and all that stuff. And I ain't even trying to get you there either. But that's got to be very difficult for that to take place, because everybody wants to make sure that is mended. You know, that broken piece of your heart. Some of it has been put back together. Now, it might have a little tiny hole on the end over there, but at least most of the heart has been placed back together. And to know that the wish that your mother wanted didn't happen, you know, and your sister passed away before it could even happen. It's even, you know, it's just hard. It's just hard because I love my siblings. I do. Every last one of them. They get on my freaking nerves. They do. Every last one of them. And I lost 2 of them already. I've lost 2 brothers. So I get it. You know, it's hard. It's very hard. So we are praying for you.
I appreciate
it.
I'm okay.
That, you know, and we always say we good, you know. Somebody told me to stop saying that. When I'm not good, stop saying you good. But I was like, well, it's a good, but it ain't a good. But I'm all right.
I mean, I'm sure it's something that you thought ain't thinking about it 24/7 days of your life. But you know, periodically here, you know, some stuff come up like, dang, I wonder, it would have been nice if, you know what I'm saying? Like that's right. Just. She said no,
I'm
not
good.
even me.
I'm good because I'm a twin, like I say, and me and him is the closest. You know, I really wasn't raised with them. I was raised with my dad's side. Sandy, you said your dad gave up. Well, actually, my mom gave up. So, you know, yeah, imagine a mother. You know, a girl growing up without her mother is crazy to me. Now I need prayer for that.
Yes.
I don't really necessarily need prayer for the sister. I need prayer for the mother. You know, but it is what it is.
Same here.
I don't go around, you know, dwelling on my soaking in my misery. I'm cool. I'm good. Right. You know, I prayed about it, you know, and you know, God healed my heart.
Let it go.
So it is what it is.
Yeah. It is. I mean, you know, and to give individuals and people second chances, moms and dads, you know, it's very, very difficult when they were the ones that actually broke that chain, you know, and for you to try to turn around and give that parent a second chance. Now, sometimes children do it to their parents.
Right.
You know, they break that chain with their parents because they allow somebody else to interfere or something else interfere with that connection that they had with their parents.
Experience that too. Yeah.
And it's too late for them to get that second chance with their parents because they're gone. But they had that opportunity to do that. And when they, once again, the accountability, they didn't take the accountability of trying to make that happen. And then now they're left out too. So it happens on both ends. Parents abandon kids. Kids kick their parents to the curb for whatever reason. And sometimes we may think that the reason is not legit. They may think the reason is legit. So either way, I'm like you, Tasha, because for years I hated my daddy too, not knowing that hate is such a word. But I was able to forgive my dad and move on, which is why if I do talk to him, when I do talk to him, and when I see him, I ain't got no hard feelings. None whatsoever. None. The last time I went to Chicago, I did not see him. And I was okay with that. I did not talk to him. And I was okay with that. So it's not like I ain't got no hard feelings. I can't walk around here with hard feelings because my hair already gray enough. So I'm good, you know.
I heard that.
I'm like you, Netta. I'm good, you know. So you know, if
you know, health is wealth, and you know, a lot of times when we hold on to things, it affects our health, and so it's just not okay, you know. So some things you just gotta be at peace with, get a God, and keep it moving. You know, you did the best that you could at that time with what you had, and you know, and that's all you can do.
And I pray nothing ever. I mean, I pray nothing happens to him. But if it does, I would feel bad. I would feel sad. You know, we all have that, you know, that emotional piece in us, you know, because that's something that you don't want to see, period, at all. We all think our parents should live forever, but we already know we ain't gonna live forever. But you know, we just gotta, you know, we just gotta do what we gotta do to make life better for everybody around us, but especially yourself. Now, on that note, people, we got to get up out of here. But think about it. If you do go to that person and ask them for a second chance, they say no, you did your part. So on that note, we're going to give us and everybody else the final say
Yes. With our positive quote.
with our positive quote. And
Netta, go ahead, give your positive quote.
My positive quote is be able to identify a second chance, whether you want to give it or whether you don't. Just be able to identify if that person deserves it.
And that's great. I like that. I want to say pray on it. Pray on a second chance. Just like you want someone to give you a second chance, you gotta sometimes give that person a second chance. So, if you be a giver of second chances and be a receiver of second chances, but pray on it.
yes, please pray on it, because around here we believe in prayer. Pray for each other, pray for yourselves, pray for your family, pray for everything and everybody, because at the end of the day, it is totally up to you to allow that person a second chance. If you do go to them and they just refuse to receive it, that is no longer on you. Your slate has become clean. If you ask them for forgiveness and God has forgiven you, so guess what? You did your part. And all you can do is keep smiling. Keep smiling.
Right.
No,
Keep shining.
and always
Netta shining.
count on me.
She got that light going on back there.
That's what friends are for.
I didn't want to be in the dark.
In good times and bad times, you got to be on their side. So make sure all you got to do, reach out and touch somebody's hand, make this world a better place if you can. So you know how we do it up in here. We always got
a little karaoke at the end. Nothing wrong with it.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. So that's how it is. So that's what you got to do. Be accountable for your wrongs. Go out, reach out, ask for a second chance, do your part. Because at the end of the day, it's always better to give than it is to receive. And on that note, we're going to see y'all next week.
See y'all next week.
Love you.